Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zuthos with Thinking is Hard, and I'm going to be soloing Void Reaver. The first time I've ever managed to solo this boss is right now. I have always managed to get him to about 200, 300k before I died, and that would really start to frustrate me. This is probably the 5th time I've ever tried to kill Void Reaver. I looked, yes, excellent commentating with all the ums and ers and buffs and fillers, yes. Anyway, I did a few different things this attempt. I used the Strength Flask and Strength Food. I re-enchanted one of my rings for 40 extra strength. I used Kings, and I also, strength everywhere. Switched out one of my trinkets, the Porcelain Crab. I switched out for Heart of Rage to give me 1900 strength every now and then. And the first bit of this, I did really horribly. As you see, I'm already about 1 minute into the fight, and I'm at 50k health, and this is actually really bad. I was trying to commentate this live, but this fight takes a massive amount of movement and concentration, and so I was just not able to, which is why I'm re-recording this not live. And unfortunately, I already have had to use my lay on hands before the even 2 or 3 minute mark, but for the purposes of this fight, I went back and I glyphed it for 7-minute cooldown rather than a 10-minute cooldown, so I could use it twice throughout the fight. I made a bunch of mistakes at the very beginning of this fight. I didn't even pre-pot. I didn't pre-Guardian of the Ancient Kings, and well, I suffer for it, as you're going to be seeing here. Sometime around, I think, the 3-minute mark, I'm forced to switch to my Seal of Insight and spend 7 minutes basically on the defensive, which really sucks, and I might have actually died a few times if not for the grace of fully resisting the silence, which is possible. The hardest thing about this fight is the silence. If that silence was not a mechanic in this fight, it would be extremely easy to solo it, even without worrying about all of this added strength and other fun things like switching seals. Without the silence, I might be able to stay within Seal of Vengeance the entire duration of the fight, because I would be able to use Word of Glory on cooldown, which would pretty much cover all the damage he does between the 20 seconds. Now, I started the fight by using Divine Plea to give me 3 stacks of Holy Power, and then I used that for Inquisition. Fortunately, wasn't able to reapply Inquisition throughout the rest of the fight, and on top of pre-potting, it didn't give me as much of a benefit as I wished it would, and I still cut the Enrage a little close, but at the time of the Enrage I still had 100,000 health, and my Ardent Defender, so there was no way I was going to die. The boss never actually reached his Enrage. Now, this fight would have been fun had I done everything right. Unfortunately, I've said this already, I did pretty much everything wrong while still staying within the bounds of completing the fight. And yeah, not good at all. Fight should probably only take about 8 minutes. Takes me about 9 minutes and 40 seconds. The key to this fight is obviously staying alive, but you spend as much time with your Seal of Vengeance on in the beginning as possible. You want to survive for 2.5 minutes, no more than 3 minutes before using your first lay on hands, because if you survive more than 3 minutes, you're not going to be able to use it a second time, most likely. Now, you're going to want to go in the fight with your Guardian of the Ancient Kings up, and possibly even your Divine Protection up, because you can use neither of them while silenced, but you can use Ardent Defender whenever the hell you please. I'm a dwarf, so I can use Stone Form. I didn't even realize it until around I believe it was the 3 or 4 minute mark that I was like, oh crap, I should be using that. This would help me not die. But pretty much you want to chain your cooldowns, use your Guardian and your Divine Protection at the very start as soon as you can before that first silence lands, and then use your Stone Form, because you can use it while silenced. A little later on, the goal is to stay alive as long as possible before using your land hands. I've already said it. And do as much damage. While looking at his health right now, he only has a 10-minute enrage timer, so this is both good and can be, it can't be bad, other than the fact that, if it was 11 minutes, no one would have to worry about it at all. I'm not even in the best gear right now. I think I'm mostly in 359s. I have the tier 11 chest and a Firelands BOE axe, the Obsidian Cleaver. But as you can see right here, I'm sitting at around 20k health, and my life is flashing before my eyes. I thought I was going to die already, and that I'd have to re-record all of this, which would have sucked. Even though I have to re-record it all anyway, because I spent about 8 minutes not saying anything while doing the fight. Right here, wasn't saying a damn thing. And that's pretty much it. You just run around in circles, and then he throws shit at you, and you try to survive it. Damn, that dwarf looks sexy. You need to run around in circles in order to survive, because if you don't run around in circles, he won't get confused and dizzy, and this will just cause bad things. Another good thing to do would be to position him up on the ledge so that when he does knock you back, you are knocked back downhill, which will increase the distance you are actually knocked back, and you might be able to get off a few seconds of not being silenced, unlike me, who didn't even realize that I could use that to my advantage until later on in the fight. And 7 minutes and 40 seconds with the boss still having 700,000 health is pushing it. As you can see, I'm at less than 10k health. I'm looking like I'm gonna die any second here. And there's a second of silence that I used to pop my Word of Glory, my Holy Radiance, and my Guardian of Ancient Kings, which gave me back a crap ton of health. Yeah, Paladins are really overpowered, but still, not as overpowered as that frickin' Death Knight who just goes through life killing bosses. And, oh, what? You hurt me? I'm just gonna hurt you back and get more health. Yeah, I'm very envious about that. I'm all jelly. Man, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything today. Wow. Oh, well, except an apple, but still. I don't know why, but looking at this segment of the fight, I am extremely hungry. So much hunger. And Forbearance is coming off any second, and I'm now able to use Lay on Hands, except for the fact that I'm silenced. But as you can see throughout the entire fight, it's really an easy fight, excuse me, so long as you don't be an idiot like me. My second Lay on Hands has been used, he has 200,000 health left, and I have full health. I switched to my Seal of Vengeance because I got my whole I'ma kill you thoughts on, and I still have my Ardent Defender. There's no possible way I can lose this fight now, unless his Berserk instant killed, which I think a boss or two out there does, but not the Void Reaver. His melees go from hitting for about 1,000 to about 4,000. That's about it. But anyway, this was Zuthos from Thinking's Hard soloing the Void Reaver, and I hope you guys enjoyed it because, well, I didn't. So maybe you will enjoy watching me suffer in agony and pain. Goodbye.